Now, something else I'd like to talk about is bike lanes. We had some bike lanes and bus lanes put in all over the city pretty recently, in the last few years. And some years ago, not too long ago, long enough that I was actually in the industry at the time, Steve Nislik, who is the, founder and head of New York Class. He's the real estate guy that was interested in tearing down the horse carriage stables to build high-rises there, who essentially is behind buying Mayor de Blasio to try to do his bidding for him in a deal they made. And all that failed, luckily. Anyway, he at one point was like, oh, you know what? The carriage horses, they should be able to use the bike lanes in the city because it gets them out of the traffic that they are in briefly when they travel to and from their park and stable every day. And he was like, advocating for that. So Scout really has an opinion on this one. He's trying to get in this video. So that was something he had said at one time. And here we are some years later, where at times when we do utilize the bike lanes, New York Class is like, the horses aren't supposed to be in the bike lanes, they should get tickets and all, making a fuss about it. Most of the bicyclists actually don't mind when we are using the lane because they also still fit in the lane, and they've been annoyed that they have these Amazon delivery bikes, e-bikes that have this big box on them and essentially just like a vehicle traveling in their lane, which does block them all the time. But we had them, all up in a fuss about that. It's pretty hypocritical. But we are allowed to use bike lanes and bus lanes when there is a reason that calls for it. So if we were in standstill traffic, the safest thing to do for our horse would be to get them out of that. And so briefly, we will utilize those lanes at times. I personally don't have to too much because I'm at the closer stable. But the further stables, those carriage drivers will have to at times, especially if it's like UN week or something, if there's just exceptional traffic. And then you have, the bike lanes in the park that I've mentioned, where they recently turned all of the carriage drives into bike lanes and shared bike lanes and lanes that are just for bikes, which is a really poor planning kind of thing. Then there was the horse carriage only lane on 59th Street, Central Park South, where you constantly find bicyclists in that lane with us where they're not supposed to be. So obviously bicyclists don't mind sharing those lanes with us. A lot of the time they're actually going the wrong way. It's kind of a problem. The reason you don't want to be in a horse only lane is because as much as we have a good bond with our horses and they do like to listen to us most of the time, they do have a mind of their own, and they may move to one side or the other when you're there, and that is not a good place for you to be. That's why you give horses a lot of space when you pass them, or you're supposed to. That's the safe way to pass a horse. One time I was going down, which street was it? I don't remember exactly, but we are allowed on the perimeter of the park, all the streets that are around there. And I think there was a race going on in the park or something. I got all rerouted from my usual way around. So horses are supposed to keep on the far right when they're in the streets or just anywhere in general. Sometimes we do keep to the far left if there's a reason that it's not safe for a horse to be on the right, or we have to go around something. We also will sometimes hold the entire lane if we feel it is not safe for you to pass, and we think you might if you think you have enough space, but you don't actually, and you might clip us. But anyway, in general, you want to stay on the far right. That's the safest place for a horse in most situations. And they put some bus-only lanes on the far right, so of course we're going to be in those lanes. Buses will have to go around us at times. It's not like we're frequently there all the time. Because that is the far right lane, and otherwise the horses are just in the middle of the road and you'd have, traffic trying to pass them on both sides, and that's not a good thing. So I was going down the road and this woman's like, "You're in the bus lane." I'm like, "Yes, very smart of you." So people just don't know anything about horses, don't understand. We're always doing what's best for our horse, and we always will. We will continue to, so get used to it. But it really would be nice if the city would actually put up signs that the bike lanes are shared. Now, that wouldn't mean that we are going to be in them all the time, because there are reasons that it is not safe for us to be in a bike lane at some time. There could be something blocking it, something our horse doesn't like there, and so we have to have the ability to come in and out of these lanes. But it would be nice if that was an official legal option. Instead, it's just under that clause that you're doing what's safest in an emergency, which sometimes will contradict typical traffic laws. We have, argued with the city with this for years, but these animal rights groups never want to do anything helpful to horses. They've got the big money, and they are the ones that, at the end of the day, the politicians are listening to a lot of the time. Don't care about the constituents, don't care about the little guy like us. Scout has been pushing me a lot. He just wanted some attention there.
I also wanted to add that the police horses regularly use bike lanes because they know, just like us, it's a good place to have your horse.
And I also think that the fact that the park has put these painted bike lanes and said that we are supposed to be in those lanes means the city is now open to us sharing them. And I assume that's their okay, that we can go ahead and, horses pave the way, share the road kind of thing with everybody. But yeah, that's why you do see the horses in the bike lanes occasionally. Usually you have enough room to pass. You can momentarily wait while we are maneuvering our horse in the safest way possible for them and you. And that's why horses are occasionally in those lanes and doesn't hurt anybody. I wanted to point out something that's kind of funny and good in a way. So as you can see, they recently repaved the roads in Central Park, and they have not yet finished painting the bike lanes and jogging lanes and all that. We're about to approach an area they had started on. And the funny thing is, both these lanes, they are painting as a bike lane, even though the one I'm in is for carriage horses and other vehicles as well. And you'll see here, where it's painted, the shadows there, that you can see the bike lane there, but this side is almost entirely faded off because of horses utilizing the carriage drive. So I thought that was kind of funny because it was really stupid and pretty dangerous on the DOT and Central Park Conservancy's part to encourage bicyclists to get too close to our horses. But it looks like in no time, if you can see, I'm going to come up to another bike lane painting here. In no time, that will probably be faded away, and then people will just think that the bike lane's only on the left, which is great because that's how it should be. That would be sensible.